Hi, my name is FOONG and my metric number is 281708. My group's article is Relationship between ABC and ABM. So today I'll be talking about ABC. ABC, also known as activity-based costing, is a method that assigns overhead and indirect costs to products and services. This method is also based on activities or the activities known as cost drivers. This method is normally used in manufacturing industry. So there's 5 steps in implementing ABC. The first step is to define the activities, the activity cost pool and the activity measure. The second step is to assign overhead costs to the activity cost pool. The third step is to calculate the activity rates. The fourth step is to assign overhead costs to cost objects. And the last, which is the fifth step, is to prepare management reports. Alright, so let's pick an example, shall we? Let's say company A, we need to first define their activity cost pool. Let's say they have machining and inspecting products. Next, we need to define the activity measure. For machining, we will use machining hours, and for inspecting products, we will use inspection hours. The second step is to assign the overhead cost. So for machining, we will assign 100,000 ringgit. For inspecting products, we will assign 200,000 ringgit. Next, we have to calculate the activity rate. To calculate the activity rate, we need to divide the overhead cost for activity cost pool over the activity drivers. So for machine hours, we will have 10,000 hours. For inspection hours, we will have 20,000 hours. Then we will divide 100,000 over 10,000, and then we get 10 ringgit per machine hours. And then 200,000 we divide by 20,000, we get 10 ringgit per inspection hours. Next, we will assign this overhead cost to the cost object. Let's say company A produced 20 product A, and the prime cost for product A is 200 ringgit. So let's say their machining hours is 10. We take 10 ringgit times 10, we get 100 ringgit. And then their inspection hours is 10. We take 10 ringgit times 10 ringgit, we get 100 ringgit. So we add 100 with 100, we get 200, and then we add with the prime cost 200 ringgit, we get 400 ringgit, which is the total manufacturing cost. And then we would divide by 20 production, which we will get 20 ringgit unit cost. So after that, we will do the management report to find the product margin. Okay, so now I'll be talking about the advantages and the disadvantages of ABC. Let's start with the advantage. The first advantage for ABC is accurate product cost. ABC brings accuracy and reliability in product cost by focusing on cause and effect, in the relationship in cost occurrence. ABC recognizes the activities which causes cost, not products, and it is product which consumes activities. ABC produces reliable and correct product cost data in case of greater diversity among products manufactured in high volume and low volume products. The second advantage is the information about cost behavior. ABC also identifies the real nature of cost behaviors and helps in reducing costs and identifying activities which do not add value to the product. With ABC, managers are able to control many fixed overhead costs by exercising more control over the activities which have caused this fixed overhead costs. This is possible because the behavior of many fixed overhead costs in relation to these activities become more visible and clear. The third advantage is better decision making. ABC improves decision making by manager because they can use more reliable product cost data, and ABC helps them usefully in fixing selling prices of products, because more correct data of product cost is now readily available. Okay, now the disadvantage of ABC. The first disadvantage is it is expensive and complex. Because ABC has numerous cost pool and multiple cost driver, so this can be very complex to use and costly to use. The second disadvantage is the selection of drivers. First of all, it has a lot of difficulties, such as selection of cost driver, and it has a lot of verifying cost driver rates, and so on. The third disadvantage is the disadvantage to smaller firms. Well, this is because ABC is most suitable to large manufacturing company, because it has different utility level and it's for different types of organization. It is for company that uses or depends on cost plus pricing, while smaller firms, they depends more on market-based pricing, which do not suit them. This is why ABC only suits for cost plus pricing, because it gives an accurate product cost. I guess that's it from me. Thank you.
My name is location matrix number 269733. I will introduce the APM based on the article of activity-based costing and activity-based management. The same thing in a different guise which wrote by Yoram Eden and Boss Ronan. Activity-based management (ABM) is a method for determining the profitability of every aspect of a company so that its strength can be improved and weaknesses can be eliminated. ABM, which was first developed in the 19th century, aims to highlight areas where a company is losing money so that those activities can be eliminated or improved to increase profitability. ABM examines the cost of employees, equipment, facilities, distribution, overhead, and other factors in a business to determine and allocate activity costs. Activity-based management can be applied to different types of companies, including manufacturers, service providers, non-profits, schools, and government agencies. ABM can provide cost information about any area of operation in a business. The result of an ABM analysis can help a company produce more accurate budgets and long-term financial forecasts, in addition to improving profitability and overall financial strength. For example, ABM can be used to analyze the profitability of a new product a company is launching by examining marketing and production costs, sales, warranty claims, and any cost or repay time associated with return or exchange products. If a company relies on a research and development departments, ABM can be used to examine the department's operating costs, the cost of testing new products, and whether the products developed there were profitable. Another example would be a company that has opened a second office. ABM can assist management in determining the cost of operating a location, such as staff, facilities, and overhead, and then determining whether or not any subsequent profits are sufficient to cover or justify those costs. The ABM system is conceptualized as being based on feedback between the organization management phases and accounting phases. The first is the management stage of mapping the enterprise and analyzing the business process. Then comes the accounting stage of collecting costs into the activity pools and allocating them to products. However, the allocation process is not to be viewed as a final objective, but rather an intermediate one. Next, another managerial stage has to be carried out. Management has to analyze the result obtained, to identify the enterprise weak point with the aim of improving processes and reducing costs. Thank you.
A very good morning to everyone. My name is Huang Lu. Metric number is 266864. For my part, I will talk about the meaning of ABM and ABC and the function and purpose of ABM and ABC. Firstly, let me introduce what is ABM and what is ABC. ABM means activities that are based on management, and ABC means that activities based on costing. ABM mining focus on the business process and the managing activities and delivering organizational objectives. The activity-based management helps in reducing cost drivers and transfers the resources. Activity-based management focuses on the various activities and the business processes that the customers needs and is willing to pay for. The activity-based management helps in determining the contribution of each person. This is based on the measure for cost, quality, and time. The ABM also supports balance scorecard and is considered to be a base for business process reduction. And the activity-based costing relates to the measurements of the cost and the performance of the various activities, cost, objectives, and the resources. The ABC mining recognized causal relationship of cost drivers to activities. The activity-based costing can be called as a subset of activity-based management. The ABC helps in improving the costing by outlining the vendor's expense like supplies, salaries, and rental activities, and outlining these activities to service, business process, products, customers, and distribution. One of the best concepts of activity-based costing is that cost is consumed and consumption is managed. Okay, let's move to function and purpose of ABC and ABM. Firstly, let us to talk about ABC first. ABC, as I mentioned before, is the activity based on the costing. Because of that reason, the function of ABC is to help in improving the costing by outlining the vendor's expenses, like supplies, salaries, and rental activities, and outlining these activities to service, business process, products, customers, and distribution. Next, for the purpose of ABC, can be called as a subset of activity-based management, relates to the measurements of the cost and the performance of the various activities, cost objects, and resources. Then I'm going to share about ABM. ABM is an activity then based on management. ABM can help in determining the contribution of each person and support balance scorecard. It's a base for business process redesign, and the purpose of ABM are mining focus on management of activities as a method for improving the value obtained by the customers and the profit got by giving this value. Okay, that's all for my presentation. Thank you.
Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. My name is Alya Batrisyia binti Adnan. No metric 281519 we present the difference between activity-based costing and activity-based management. ABM draws on ABC to provide management reporting and decision making. First and foremost, from the article entitled "What is the difference between ABC and ABM?" we can know how the difference the ABC and ABM system using in companies. For ABC, mostly used in the manufacturing industry since it enhances the reliability of cost data, hence producing nearly true cost and better classifying the costs incurred by the company during its production process. Thousands of companies have adopted or explored the feasibility of adopting ABC. However, we estimate that more than 10% of them now use activity-based management in a significant number of their operations. The other 19% have given up, or their programs are stagnating and floundering. For ABM, used to determine the profitability for every aspect of a business so that those areas can be upgraded or eliminated. To determine the total probability of a customer based on its purchases, sales returns, and use of the time of the customer service departments. Beside, here the example of service organization for ABC and ABM from the article entitled Accounting for Managers by Lument. Service organization example of activity-based costing. Imagine you are the chief financial officer of 5-star bank. You are interested in implementing an activity-based costing system to evaluate the cost of different loan products such as auto loans, home equity loans offered by the bank. The 5 steps of activity-based costing we presented earlier still apply. Let's look at how these steps might work when evaluating the cost of bank loans. Step 1. Identify costly activities. Processing loans includes activities such as meeting with customers, reviewing customer application, and running credit reports. Step 2. Assign overhead costs to the activities identified in Step 1. Cost assigned to activity of reviewing customers' application includes items such as wages of personnel, reviewing applications, depreciation of computer equipment used to review online applications, and supplies needed for the review process. Step 3. Identify the cost driver for each activity. Step 4. Calculate a predetermined overhead rate for each activity. This is done by dividing estimated overhead costs by each activity by estimated cost driver activity. For the activity meeting with customers, this calculation results in a rate per hour of meeting time. For the activity reviewing customer application, the calculation results in a rate per application reviewed. And for running credit reports, a rate per credit report runs. And step 5. Allocate overhead costs to the products. Overhead is allocated or applied to products, auto loans, and home equity loans in this example based on the use of each activity cost driver. If a loan officer reviewed 30 auto loan application and amount equal to the rate per application reviewed times 30 application is allocated to the auto loans product. Next, service organization example of ABM. The question: managers at 5-star bank are not only interested in product cost information, they will also like to scrutinize the activities involved in processing loans and make the process more efficient. How can the management of 5-star bank use activity-based management to become more efficient? And the answer is managers and accountants can apply the 3 steps of activity-based management to 5-star banks as follows. 1. Identify activities required to complete the product. This involves the interviewing personnel throughout the company to capture all the activities involved in processing loans. 2. Determine whether the activities are value-added or non-value-added. An example of value-added activity is a quick approval of a loan. An example of non-value-added activity is a time spent waiting for the credit reports. 3. Continuously improve the value-added activities and minimize or eliminate the non-value-added activities. 5-star banks should continually strive to improve its ability to approve loans quickly, a value-added activity. While waiting for credit reports, a non-value-added activity, perhaps the bank can find other value-added activities that bank personnel can perform. For example, responding to customers' questions or processing other loans applications. The ABC and ABM system helps managers to properly manage the indirect costs by activity and to understand the profitability of products, channels, and customers. It therefore provides a powerful tool making decisions. The advantages of implementing the ABC or ABM system include correct determination of costs associated with products, services, customers, and distribution channels, And the advantages of ABC and ABM system include implementing an ABC or ABM system is a project that initially requires some dedicated resources. Once implemented, such as a system must be maintained and its model cost assignment structure will need source input data. For example, resource some expenses, cost driver, quantities must be collected, verified and entered into the system.
Assalamualaikum. My name is AMIRA FADZILA binti Muhammad KAMSATUL ID with matrix number 280464. I will be presenting about the subcategories of ABM, connections and summary. The information analyzed and collected through activity-based costing, ABC, and value chain analysis can be used to identify and implement processes that can improve the company's operations and strategies. This divides activity-based management, ABM, into two potential subcategories, which is operational ABM and strategic ABM. Operational ABM involves scrutinizing the cost of each activity and increasing operational efficiency by enhancing value-generating activities and eliminating unnecessary costs and non-value generating activities. It allows managers to identify anomalies in the costing process and investigate accordingly. Activities that do not generate adequate value can be ceased, and resources can be allocated to other activities, leading to higher efficiency. For strategic ABM, it uses activity-based costing to analyze the profitability of an activity, which may even be unrolling of a new product or acquiring a new customer. It allows the company to obtain a strategic picture of which products and customers to develop and pursue in order to boost sales and profitability. Strategic ABM is used for strategic decision making when it comes to advertising through a certain channel, launching a new product, or targeting a certain demographic group of customers. The connection between activity-based costing and activity-based management is related to the way in which such information can be used to better manage the manufacturing process for more cost effectiveness. A lot of the information gathered in activity-based management is derived from information gathered from another management tool, which is activity-based costing. Whereas activity-based management focuses on business processes and managerial activities driving organizational business goals, activity-based costing seeks to identify and reduce cost drivers by optimizing resources. Both ABC and ABM are management tools that help in managing operational activities to improve the performance of a business entity or an entire organization. Activity-based costing can be considered an offshoot of activity-based management. By mapping business costs like supply, salaries, and leasing activities to business processes, products, customers, and distributions activity, activity-based costing helps improve overall managerial effectiveness and transparency. Activity-based management, ABM, is a means of analyzing a company's profitability by looking at each aspect of its business to determine strengths and weaknesses. ABM is used to help management find out which areas of the business are losing money so that they can be improved or cut altogether. ABM often make use of information gathered with activity-based costing, ABC, a means of identifying and reducing cost drivers by better use of resources. Activity-based costing and activity-based management techniques are not limited to manufacturing companies only. Virtually all organizations, including service, non-profit, retail, and governmental, can benefit from implementing some form of ABC and ABM. For the summary, firstly, ABM mainly focuses on the business processes and managing activities aimed at deriving organizational objectives. Second, the ABC helps in improving the costing by outlining the various expenses like supply, salaries, and rent to activities and outlining these activities to services, business processes, products, customers, and distribution. Third, the activity-based management helps in determining the contribution of each person and also support balanced scorecard. It is considered to be a basis for business process redesign. Fourth, the activity-based costing relates to the measurement of the cost and the performance of the various activities, cost objects, and resources. Fifth, the activity-based management mainly focuses on management of activities as a method for improving the value obtained by the customer and the profit got by giving this value. The last summary is the activity-based costing can be called as a subset of activity-based management.